Go. And then it goes.
Hello everybody, Outcast 5 from Vets Fleet, here again with another commentary, and for today I will be showing basics of Bomberwhore CV play. There is a lot of controversy about Bomberwhore CVs. I made another account just so I could have Bomberwhore CV and not feel bad about it being on my account. And I must say that my outlook definitely changed after a few battles, because if a Bomberwhore CV is played correctly, it can be a huge help to your team. And real quick here, I'm just sending my bombers in, and I'm going to try and avoid these fighters. And I'm pretty sure that he controls them and they start to engage. So what I usually do in this case is I'll just go for the largest threat nearby that I can get to before my bombers get shot down. As you see, manual drop, dead on it. And what I'm probably going to do here is let my bombers try and shoot down his fighters. I do this pretty much all the time when I'm getting chased, and see if I can get any. And if they're too strong for me to shoot down with my bombers, then I'll just let them circle while I launch my other squad. And when the time comes, I'll probably go ahead and move my bombers in a certain direction as to drag them away from where I'm sending my new bombers. So what I did is I sped it up the gameplay there because I got a lot to fit in this video, but I basically dragged my bombers that had already dropped their bomb south, away from where I'm sending my new squad of bombers in, so that his fighters are less likely to be in a position to engage me. But anyways, as I was saying, I think you just saw right there that I saw, or that I heard a CV, and I knew there was going to be a CV there because I could hear its planes. And right there I saw the launch shadow, and I find me a CV. It's not exactly the CV I wanted, and he launches some fighters. So I figure I'll try and bomb him real quick, and I get a fail. They didn't drop quick enough. They all started to dive. So I'm pissed off here. I'm going to let them shoot down those fighters. A little vengeance here. As you see, I just right-click my bombers right in front of where they are, if you look right now, and I'm just dragging them a little, getting them into position, and then let them engage, and then drag them away again, usually after about 1 or 2 circles, and then I'll just let them keep engaging. And that's how I usually shoot down fighters. And if you have high enough dive bombers, you can do this too. My dive bombers are about level 100 now. I think they're about 99 in this video, maybe somewhere 100, and they're quite durable at that level. You can easily shoot down tier 1, 2, 3 fighters. I'm not too sure about tier 4 fighters yet. I haven't really gone against them with my bombers, but I know I can shoot down locals as well. Those are the easiest to shoot down with their low durability. But they are also the ones that can rape your bombers the quickest, so you got to be really careful. And here I'm just speeding up the gameplay again because of time constraints. I got a lot of bombing videos I want to try and get in today, and it's a 15-minute long video. And there you see another launch shadow. It was just over there on the right side of my screen, and I'm going to send my bombers towards it here. They're starting to break apart, but I'm going to go see what's over there real quick, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and it's just that little CV again, and that's not a priority. Our flagship's been sunk, so I'm going for their flagship. That's definitely the priority right now, and that's how a Bomberwhore can win the team. Here's a flagship, and instead of rushing it, I see he's not really moving too much, so I'm going to come in again for another run on him where I'm more established. And here, set the manual target, manual drop, and there, I won the game for my team there basically by myself. And that's what a Bomberwhore CV can do. And that's definitely why I think some people should change their perception of Bomberwhore CVs. There are, of course, the Bomberwhore CVs that really just kind of fail. They don't do much for the team. They just bomb the biggest BB they can find, regardless of the situation, which sometimes that situation can be good, can be helpful. But if you bomb a big BB and he just runs away and repairs because there's no other threats, it's not going to do anything for your team. And here, I see those fighters chasing my bombers, so I just drop on the largest target I could find before they get shot down. And see, I actually shot down one of the KM tier 3s right there with my bombers. I think they pretty much just get raped the rest of the way, but I did shoot one of them down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bombers that already dropped. I'm going to scout with them. I'm going to try and find their flagship, and I believe I do so here. But that's another thing for CVs is just because your bombers have dropped their bombs doesn't mean you should just send them home. They still have a use. Scout with them, find a new target. And here I fast forward quite a bit into this game because I had a couple bombing run fails, and I probably honestly would have shown them just to show that nobody's perfect. But for time constraints, again, I got to cut that out. And here I go for this guy, and it's a failed drop again. I still do some damage though, but I would have killed him if I hadn't failed. What I should have done there is set my manual target just a little farther out, and what that would have done is it would have made my bombers drop all at the same time. If you try and set a target that's really close to where your bombers already are and do the manual drop from max altitude like I usually do, if you do that too close to where the squad is, they're not going to drop it instantly. They're going to dive a little, and it's going to mess up your aiming. So that's something that should be kept in mind for those that are getting accustomed to manual. And here I'm probably going to fail again. I remember this game, and I failed quite a few times against this BB. Oh no, that's right. What I did there is my first manual target I knew wasn't good. So instead of having them drop instantly, what I'll do sometimes is I'll let them dive, and I'll actually use that to adjust my aiming, because if you look when a dive bomber dives, it doesn't go straight down. It keeps going forward at the direction that it was going when it originally went into the dive. So if I was heading west with my planes right before they dive, well, they're going to keep continuing west as they're diving, even though they're going primarily straight down. It's not an exact straight down. They still keep moving a little bit. And here, just find their flagship in the corner and just do a little tricky bombing. Hit his tail there. I predicted he was going to keep turning, so I aimed for his tail. And one bomb misses, otherwise I probably would have killed him in one wave there. And so I try and do a little magic trick here that I'm sure most people have probably seen at least once, just not that often, as I lower my bombers and try and send them into the AAW to get the kill. But there's one problem having level 100 bombers is they become quite resistant to AAW, and that pass didn't work, but I saw they took a little damage, so I'm whipping them around and going for pass number 2, and he just can't handle the intensity, and he offs himself before my bombers could crash. Anyways, so yeah, that's one trick that you can use. It's definitely something I use, especially against high AAW targets. And real quick here, I don't like flak whores. I mean, I like them on my team. They're a good thing to have, and I'm glad they're NavyField. But when I'm bombing, I will bomb them over larger targets a lot of the time, especially if they shoot at my bombers. I take it like personal, and I want vengeance. Even if they don't flak anything, I'll go for them. And as I do here, there's a CV, but I know our team's going to win, and I want a little vengeance. So I do a little hot rod in there and a little fancy footwork, whatever you want to call it, and I bomb him. And it wasn't absolutely spectacular, but it's pretty hard to hit those slimmer ships. It's pretty easy to get the CVs and the big BBs, but that's a little more difficult with a slimmer ship. And here's a little extra. I like to do this sometimes when I'm bored, is pretend like I'm targeting a teammate and get them a little freaked out. Just dive on them for a little entertainment value, and sometimes I get a rise out of people when I find it a little entertaining. But anyways, that was just an extra. So here we're moving on to another gameplay, and I paused right there because I wanted to show that Oyoto launching locals. That can be a real killer to a Bomberwhore CV, and I wish there was more of those, because they really help the team out against bombers. And here I see the CV, and it's a player that I usually consider a decent CV player, or at least usually has good pilots, so I want to bomb him. And here I'm just doing what I can to avoid his fighters. I'm changing altitude quickly, and I'm changing direction quickly. As you can see, I'm just kind of showing him up here, just outplaying him, really. I mean, I hate to be rude, but he definitely got outplayed there. That he let my bombers through. He didn't manage his fighters well enough, and because of that, I spank him for it. No homo. But yeah, that's one thing. Is it's kind of hard to dodge fighters, but if you do it right, you just got to make a lot of altitude changes and a lot of direction changes, and that's your best way of surviving when you have fighters chasing you. There's some really technical ways that you can do with manual targeting. You can make your bombers circle, and it'll avoid them a lot easier, but I'm not even that good at it, so I don't even pretend like I am, and I don't try. And here, what I got a little flagship, and he's going to turn. I'm going to drop and hit his rear probably, Yep, that's just all about predicting. A lot of times that's what it can be with Bomberwhores, is predict where the enemy's going to turn, if he is going to turn. If he's not going to turn, your job's easy. You shouldn't miss. But if he is going to turn, you gotta use your brains a little and do some predicting, and that's what I did there. And a lot of times people can be, unpredictable, or at least go in different ways than what I predict, and I end up missing a lot. I'm not afraid to say it. I miss a lot with dive bombs, but I think that the times that I do hit are crucial enough that I make up for those misses, especially when I go for flagships. That's something I do at the start of a battle. Pretty much my first wave every battle is going for a flagship and see if I can get a real quick sink. And here I think I fail, and I wanted to show it. It was a pretty good target, but he turned just the right way to avoid my bombs, so I wanted to show that so people know what to expect. And here I'm pretty upset that my bombers missed, so I'm going to take it out on some locals, and they are quite delicious. I mean, I don't win the battle, but I like to think I won the war in the sense that my bombers shot down 900 credits worth of locals. And here, aha, a sub. If you've seen my previous videos, you know what my opinion is on subs. He's not going to get out of this cleanly. If I have anything to say about this, he probably thinks he's quite sneaky, and I'll just pretend like I'm the sub right now, just a little role playing. He's probably thinking, oh, what does this CV think he's going to do? He's going to bomb me? What kind of a noob CV is going to do that? He's just going to leave his dive bombs here and wait for me to surface, and then he's going to fail with his dive bombers. And that's probably the case most times, but here, I'm coming behind him. He's probably thinking, oh shit, here it comes. He's going to fail. He's going to laugh. And, whoop. Quick drop on him before he tries to submerge. Oh shit. He's probably not a happy submarine driver, not a happy seaman at the moment. Perhaps he raged like most sub drivers, wondering what happened to his invincibility cloak. Why his submergence value wasn't high enough to bounce everything for zeros, because he's a submarine and he's invulnerable. Anyways, I'm done with my submarine rant. Moving on here. This is another gameplay. I bombed Amani at the start of that real quick, as you saw, and it was a real easy bomb. I'm not going to say that was difficult. He was going in the same direction. It was a real easy bomb. And here, I do another bomb on him, but I don't get that much attack. I think only half my bombs hit maybe, so I just keep fast forwarding this. And here, I got myself a little super yammy, about to become the super yummy, because I'm going to deliver my load all over his face, no homo. And there, nice little quick drop. I mean, he wasn't dodging or anything. It was relatively easy, I'll go ahead and admit that. But if you notice, a lot of times I try and come from the sides on my angles when I'm bombing with manual. When you use auto, you pretty much always want to come from the rear, sometimes the front, depending on the situation. But manual, I like to come from the side. And I'll put my aiming target just about one, if you were to look at the little disc, the circle that is created when you're manual targeting, I put about one circle past the ship when I'm dropping, and that usually hits. I'll go ahead and do it when I'm about half a ship length, one ship length out is when I'll set the target, and then right after I set the target, I immediately start holding the release key. And what that does is it'll drop before you actually get to the target, so that's why I set the target about one aiming circle length past the target when I'm coming from the sides. But yeah, I'm not going to go over how to use manual perfectly right now. There's other videos for that. I think Richard Fat has some, so I'm just going to show some manual gameplay. I'm just trying to show tips and tactics of CV play, not exactly how to manual dive bomb. I might do one of those later, but for now this is just gameplay. And as you saw right there, I was coming in for the run and I didn't like it, so I just backed off, collected my bombers and went for it again. And that's what you should do. A lot of times if you think you're going to rush it and you're going to something doesn't feel right, just call it off, and whip the bombers around, and go for it again. And here, this is an extra. This is showing how to dodge AA, and unfortunately, Tundra here, his NF fixer wasn't working, so he's not spamming like most KM. And what I'm doing is I'm quickly setting my target north and south of him. As you see, I'm doing the manual target just north and south of him, and I'm raising altitude and changing direction very quickly. And then I just come in and drop it. That's how you should try and dodge AA with your bombers. And here's a little extra. I'll let the video do the explaining for itself. But anyways, Outcast 5 here again with another commentary. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And be sure to leave your comments and subscribe. See you later.